Stop tripping. Welcome, gang. I'm taking an extra 2 seconds, 2 minutes to tell you guys, anybody who didn't listen to the show today. Hey, Shirley Huzar and Larry Tooley, you guys are and Kevin, you guys are the perfect people to hear what I'm about to say. I am so mad right now. Oh, and the Fur Diva's on my lap. Kenneth McClinton, hi. Yeah, my little doggy's on my lap because I've already been over an hour. But I had a web expert on my show today, and we were talking about keywords. Now, listen, I'm not completely surprised about this information because Tucker Carlson's been talking about this for months, but I've never actually heard somebody who does this work say what he said, which is that if you put anything conservative, Christian, Jesus, anything like that in your content, that Twitter, Facebook, Google, YouTube, they lower your ranking. The expert that I had on, his name is Fred Hall. The expert that I had on, what he specializes in is optimizing websites. And when people's rank goes down, when they look at their content, he tells his clients, listen, if you take Christian out or Jesus out or anything religious out, your ranking will go up. And it has proven to work every time. And I'm freaking like I knew that was true because Prager University, if you guys are familiar with them, are suing YouTube for similar activity, but I actually like way worse. But I did not realize that like the regular old internet at large was doing this. Chris Gaines, I know you were listening to the show, but I didn't know if you heard this part because this didn't come up till the end of the show. I asked him about this and he said, oh yeah, if you have anything that's considered offensive, and then when he went into what was offensive, and not that he was agreeing or disagreeing with it, but when he went into what was offensive, Christian, Jesus, Second Amendment. I would imagine Planned Parenthood. This my expert was Fred Hall from Overflow Cafe, and he's an expert in optimizing websites. And one of the things that we talked about extensively was keywords. What keywords to use in your content. Exactly, Robert Rosenfeld. Robbie. Exactly. Why would that be offensive? But they're like literally trying to like erase God from the internet by your website will get a lower ranking. Therefore, it will not come up when people are looking for certain things. So say you were looking for the exceptional one is Vindicated, right, Kenneth? Because you've been saying this for a while too. And Tucker Carlson's been talking about this. Hey, Kevin Shelley. And Tucker Carlson's been talking about this as well. And like I said, PragerU was suing YouTube for doing this. But this is outrageous. I thought, okay, they probably are doing it, but it's probably just a bunch of media hype. Like they're not really doing that to like everyone's website. And the expert that I just had on my show said, oh, absolutely. That's exactly what they're doing. And he had no dog in the fight. Hey, Akeem, Nicole, Derek, Joseph, he was just telling me as a matter of factly that this is what's going on. And I do have a couple of liberals in the house. Love you all too. But I wonder what you guys think of that. Are you okay with Google deciding what you guys can see and what you can't see? Like you may not be a card carrying Second Amendment person or a Constitution person or whatever, but do you want Google deciding that you can't see it? Those of you who are watching who are liberals, are you good with that? Are you good with not being able to see my tweets because on my profile it says I'm a Christian? I mean, I don't think you should be. I have no objection. Yes, Robbie, I do have liberal friends. I have like 3 left. on my Facebook page. I'm kidding. But I probably have 4. But I can't imagine that you're good with this. I can't imagine anybody would be good with someone else deciding what you get to see. And I'm sorry, even my good old liberal friends should be upset about this. You should be incensed. What if you actually find out that you're a card-carrying, conservative, liberal, pro-Second Amendment, Jesus all the way type person? Liberals? But you haven't been able to decide that because Twitter and Facebook and YouTube has been deciding for you. It's ridiculous. And if you are a business person who's like, yeah, I donate, I tithe, just so you know, we tithe 10% of our profits to the church, that could get suppressed. That's cray-cray. That's crazy. Greg said the left needs to understand that this can easily happen to them. Exactly. Let's say they are pro-choice. It left. But that's exactly right. And I'm sorry. I feel like there should be some type of conservative consortium or something that puts a similar platform together. This is absolutely ridiculous. Exactly, Derek. You're not children. I don't want to be protected from, liberal rhetoric. I think we should all have access to all the information. But like I said, listen, as much as I, watch Fox News and don't really watch CNN or anything like that, I understand that there's a bias. That's part of the reason why I watch it. but I carefully vet my information, and I don't, take everything to total heart. So when I had heard that this was happening to conservative content, I was like, yeah, okay, it probably is to some extent happening to, but I had no idea that this was an actual legitimate practice of people who help people optimize their websites. They do audits. What he explained was they do audits on websites, and they'll see certain areas of their pages that are ranking lower for some reason, and aren't getting as clicked as much. And they'll find out that they have added an offensive word. And then he told me some of the ideas of what's offensive. Christian, Jesus, Second Amendment. Offensive. According to Twitter, Facebook, and Google, which is probably why a whole bunch of people probably will never see this video. But and YouTube. But I, of course, have another political meeting to go to, but I just had to rant real quick and just kind of, for those of you who've been thinking about it and maybe did the same thing that I did, when you hear other people in the media talking about it, like, that's not really a thing. No, it really is a thing. And it's outrageous. And I know PragerU is suing YouTube for doing something similar, but something's got to be done. I don't, maybe with the President Trump, something will be done. I don't know. But it's frightening. We should all be frightened, because what's next? What's the next thing that they take away? What's the next thing that they decide that we don't need to see? That ends up in the bottom of the search. It's scary. Anyway, that's it. I'm off to another meeting, but I just had to say that. I just needed to get that out. If you have any questions, put them in a comment, and I'll ask that expert. But that's a problem. And if you want to hear exactly what he said, listen to the podcast. I posted it on the Money Talk with Melanie show page. But infuriating. Love you guys. Thanks for listening. Toodles.